Hey guys, Marauder here with my friend Sandalphan, and again we're going to talk about one of the movies we just got back from, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. And we went to the midnight showing. It is currently about 3 in the morning here.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. We just got back, so I thought we'd throw this up with our initial impressions before it loses some freshness in our minds and becomes fossilized, I guess, and we forget things that we want to mention. So, obviously, we'll talk about some of the things we liked, some of the things we didn't like, and then give an overall recommendation. Right. Spoiler warning, potentially, again. Yeah. We're probably going to cover this thing from top to bottom, so you have been warned.
We spoil things in our vlogs, oh my god.
Oh my god, I know. So many people, like, private messaging me about the Green Lantern. You talked about the entire movie. That's kind of the point.
You put a spoiler tag in it, right?
I said spoilers before we started talking, so if they started playing at the beginning of the video, I shouldn't have to pop up with black background, white text. Spoiler warning, you dumbass.
Yeah.
I just said spoiler warning. If you didn't hear me, it's not my fault. Anyway.
Yeah, the only way I can really talk about a movie is to talk about the movie.
To dissect
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we dissect it. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Alright, so Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2. Some of the good things. I really liked the atmosphere.
Yes.
I really enjoyed the way this movie looked. It had that... It's one of those movies, and this is something that I kind of wanted to mention anyway. A lot of these movies nowadays are trying to be the Lord of the Rings. I think Lord of the Rings kind of started this whole thing where everybody wants to have this epic movie series that they can make billions of dollars off of. And sometimes it works, like Lord of the Rings, and other times it doesn't work, like Last Airbender, where they obviously tried to make a series out of that, and it fell apart. Or a movie like
Aragon,
where that kind of fell apart, or The Golden Compass. Disney's doing it with Chronicles of Narnia, and that's sort of working for them. I know.
I liked the first one. I haven't seen the other two yet.
I didn't watch anything past the first one just because I had seen the British TV version, and I liked that one so much more that watching the Disney version and how it was hacked down and completely compressed into almost being nothing, it just upset me. So I haven't watched any of the other ones. But Harry Potter is one of those movie series that works in this respect because there is so much richness with the characters and the world, and so much you can draw on. And they got really good directors, and you grow with these characters. It's like watching Star Wars Episode 6. You can't. You have to start at 4.
Yeah.
4. And watch 4, 5, and 6, because then 6 is that much more engaging. Yes. Same thing here. I've seen every Harry Potter movie starting way back when. I have not read the books. I must say that. I've tried. I really have.
I did.
Yeah, he has. But, so when you get to this point in the series, it's so much more engrossing, and you're so much more engaged with these characters. And they didn't change the actors, for the most part. All the main characters, for the most part, are the same actors.
Yeah.
So you got to see them go from, like, a 10-year-old, or whatever he was in the first movie, all the way up to now. And it's just like, I'm so glad, because I remember they were talking about maybe switching it, where they were going to switch out actors so that it kind of kept the age the same throughout the books, and then they decided against it, and I'm so glad they did, because everybody does such a good job in this movie. This is one of those movies that it's rich. Every frame is rich, and I didn't feel they overused special effects.
Yeah.
I don't know, obviously I don't think the castle was real, but I think it was a set parts of it,
Yeah.
I think there was enough there that it felt real. Unlike the prequel Star Wars movies where everything was green screen and very few sets were built. This felt much more alive, much more like an actual world to me than the prequels did. Because of that. I don't know. I loved it. I just loved the look and feel of the movie in its entirety. Yeah. So that's one positive thing. Actually, that's probably 5 positive things in that blurb. But
that was a tirade.
I wanted to say that, though.
No,
because comparing this shit to like, I compare it to Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
What Lord of the Rings did, Harry Potter did as well.
Yes.
Obviously, different style and everything else, but it works. Whereas if you compare it to Golden Compass or Last Airbender, you could see why those don't work.
I haven't seen either of those things, so
yes,
I'll take your word for it on that.
Yes, don't watch Last Airbender.
I don't plan to.
Don't. Anyway.
I just like the movie in general. Everything they did, I thought, meshed really well together to create a big fizz of inspiration.
Mm-hmm. When it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you need your caffeine.
Yes.
The acting was so good, and just the story was so engaging. And again, I have not read the books, so I didn't really know what was going to happen. But it was really, really engrossing. Was there really anything that we didn't like?
I don't like Bellatrix Lestrange in the movies in general, but that's just me personally.
The really...
Helena Bonham Carter's character with the crazy hair.
Yeah, the crazy hair girl.
Yeah. I always thought she came off like a drunk in the movies, personally.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Helena Bonham Carter's trying to be the Joker, but just kind of not pulling it off well at all.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me personally, and it's not really a fault of this movie as much as the series
she was
general.
an interesting character. You
No, I agree, but I don't know.
But yeah, she was a little over the top for my liking too. But again, it worked within the world.
Yeah.
I loved how they tied everything together from the previous movies. Like, he still had the snitch with him that had the gem inside, and it was just like, oh, right, because he had that, and
I noticed they're not trying to color Harry's eyes anymore, though. He had very blue eyes in this movie, and he's supposed to have green, but also...
I think that's one thing you can... You know, when you go from book to film, there's certain things you have to give up, and I think eye color would have been one of the ones that I would have thrown out the window immediately.
Yeah, I don't know, but they did try that for a while.
Yeah, they did.
They were coloring his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed also he always had his hair parted in such a way that it was always covering up where his scar would be.
Yeah.
Just what I noticed.
Well, it makes sense. If you're going to walk around and people go, oh, it's you, because I see your tattoo. Well, yeah, I'd hide that too.
Yeah.
To be honest, it'd be like being an X-Man. You really don't want to go shooting your laser eyes off if you don't have to, just to kind of be accepted. Okay, a couple things that confused me. There's nothing that I dislike about the movie. This is one of the most satisfying endings to a series I've ever seen. Even when they Severus Snape, even when they explained his backstory, and they're like, oh, he wasn't evil. He was actually this kind of character, and it connects. I didn't hate his character. I loved his character in the entire series. But the thing was, like, oh, he's going to be evil. Oh, he's going to be evil. And then when he turns, you're like, I knew it. But then they go, oh, wait a minute. What about this? And you just go, oh, I never thought of that. Again, it wasn't like a big, giant reveal, but it was satisfying to it resurrected the character in my mind and put him up on a pedestal of just being a righteous wizard that was doing what was right. It was very fitting that he wasn't the douchebag that I thought he was. The other thing is, if you get put in the House of Slytherin, does that immediately make you evil? I just ask only because at that one part when Voldemort starts talking to everybody in their heads and is like, give me Harry Potter and I won't destroy I'll leave you alone. And then the one girl from Slytherin's like, well, somebody grab him. And then they throw all of Slytherin House in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm a first year. I just got here.
A talking hat put me here. I didn't want to be here. I wanted to be in Hufflepuff or something. God damn it. Well, I mean, so I can understand you don't know who to trust at that particular moment in time.
Yeah.
And you just to be safe, let's throw everybody in the dungeon that's in that house and just kind of wash them from our memories for a second to figure this out. All right, okay, all right, but I thought it was a little bit over the top.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're in I mean, there's like 3 things the Sorting Hat basically judges you on, I think, in the books. If you're brave, you go into Gryffindor. If you're smart, you go into Ravenclaw. And if you're cunning, you go into Slytherin. And if you're a loser, you go to Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff always seemed like the one kind of house that everybody kind of makes fun of and throws the kids in lockers and such.
Yeah. Hufflepuff's the one house they don't do jack with in any of the movies or any of the books. Poor Hufflepuff and their badger.
They should have just made 3 houses.
Yeah.
Honestly, and you could have gotten away with it just as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, throw that away. The other thing is, the wands. I don't really get, like, you explained it to me at the end, how it was his wand and not Voldemort's, and thereby...
Yeah.
Okay. It just seems to me that if you're pure evil, if you're Voldemort, would any wand want to be yours? Like, you're going to help me bring the end of the world to fruition. Here we go! And the wand would be like, you know, I kind of like being used for magical purposes, and I'd like to continue to be used for magical purposes. So excuse me.
You want to make that broom move all by itself? I'll do that. I don't really want to go around killing people.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else I liked in the movie? And this is just, I think, given to the writing and direction here, is just how you can have a dead serious moment and all hell's going to hit the fan, and then you're laughing at something that you wouldn't think would be funny, but is funny.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a lighthearted moment, and then you go, oh, okay. And then you're back to being, like, down in the dungeons and dredges of the... But it works. Yeah. It just kind of works. It's not like Transformers 2, where they had the dogs humping each other, and that was supposed to be funny. It's generally pretty funny.
I've heard Transformers 3 has that problem with tone, too.
Oh, yeah, Transformers 3, I saw that. That was all over the place in terms of tone. But here, again, it works. You need these moments. You need these lighthearted moments so that the whole movie doesn't become a gigantic downer. I know that was one thing. I think it was Order of the Phoenix, was it?
Maybe.
Everybody said was like a really dark, kind of upsetting film. But I hear if you read the books, it doesn't come off that way. But if you were to take the major events from the book and make a movie out of it, that's kind of what would happen. So it was nice to see them interject some sort of humor in here that literally worked and honestly didn't feel forced, like it did in other movies like Transformers or I can't think of another one at the moment, but or Star Wars prequels, where they try to shove Jar Jar Binks down your throat, and you're just like, I don't find him funny at all. I thought R2-D2 was pretty funny. You know, so it was nice. I liked that quite a bit, actually.
Oh.
Okay. So, yeah. Anyway. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, do you want to talk about the ending? Like, the very ending?
Oh, yeah, okay. So, the very, very end of the movie, they bring up a title card that just says 19 years later. And then they crossfade into...
I like just before that, the very last thing they're all seen doing is just holding hands on a bridge.
Yeah. Then they go to the title card. Then they crossfade into...
Oh, wait, And then you come to the horrible realization that Harry Potter has grown up to be the shortest of the three main characters. And it kind of kills something deep down inside you that the main character is the shortest person in the group. Or at least it did to me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Alright.
Anyway, so they go 19 years later, and they're, like, I guess Ron and Hermione are married.
Yeah.
Harry married
Ron's sister.
And then they all have kids that look pretty much just like him when they were that age. But here's the thing. It's the same actors.
Yeah.
Now, I can understand why they did this. Trust me, I can. Because you want to stick with these characters that you've grown up with for 7, 8 movies now. I get it. But here's the thing. They didn't look old enough. They
took the main kids and they used age progression makeup and CGI so they could play as the parents for their own kids, but... And is that supposed to be some kind of play on how everyone's been saying for the last, 4 movies now they don't look like they should be in high school anymore? Is this just that, only taking it in the wrong direction?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. It was a very touching scene and all.
Oh, no.
It worked.
It was except Draco. Oh god, Draco, that's a fucking tragedy right there. Mm-hmm. Balding and an ugly-ass goatee. He did not age well at all.
Nope. Yeah, so it kind of worked. The only problem I had was, really? You're sending your kids back to back to Hogwarts? Really? After all of the shit you went through? I mean, I know Voldemort's dead now, but... There's still trolls lurking in the bathrooms, and there's still, snakes in the basement, and there's still secrets not yet undiscovered. Or uncovered. It's just... Really? You're gonna send your kids to that school? Alright.
I don't know. My problem with it was that the main characters... How old are they? 25 now? 23?
Something like that, yeah.
They look like they're 25. They don't look like they're in their 40s like what they're supposed to be.
Yeah, the age progression makeup didn't work. But again, I understand why they did that way. Because had you gotten new actors and actresses to play the parts...
No, it wouldn't have worked as well at all.
It wouldn't have come off as legitimate. Or as... I think they meant well.
Yeah.
So you can't... I don't hold it against them. The, Yeah, so, I don't know. Do I recommend this movie?
Yes.
Hell yeah, I do. I'm not even really a fan. I just like the movies, and I just watch the movies because I'm a sci-fi fantasy buff, and I just enjoy, some magic and some other things going on. But here's the thing. They explain everything. It all makes sense. It's not like in other science fiction movies where they just go, oh, well, that happened. You're supposed to accept it blindly. They really, throughout the entire course of this, and you have to take it as all of the movies in one. You can't just go, well, this movie was good, but Order of the Phoenix was bad, or Half-Blood Prince was terrible. Because they all, it's an arc. It's a story. And it's just so well done in these movies. Again, not having read the books...
Yeah.
This is my opinion, but just from a filmmaking standpoint, I think that, given time, this movie series will be as well remembered as Lord of the Rings, or the original Star Wars movies.
Probably more so, even.
Possibly. I mean, the special effects just got better as the movies went on.
Yeah.
And the acting got better. Not to say it was bad in the first couple movies, but I mean, the kids just kind of came into their own roles eventually.
Yeah.
And you just kind of accepted it, and it just works. And it gets darker and more adult. That's another thing I like about these movies, is you grow up with them. So when you hit Order of the Phoenix, or at least when I did, I was ready for that.
Yeah.
Would my niece, who's only 7 right now, she's watched, I think, all of the Harry Potter movies except the last one. And I don't think she could watch this one. I think it would be a little too much for her, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think they tone it down in all the right areas. I mean, if you read the book in the final battle section, it gets pretty dark. Like, all those people who died off camera in the movie, it talks about when they die in the books. Mm-hmm. Like, what happens and how it happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but, you know, I don't know. But given time, it's all paced really well. It's all really well. It ages well.
Yeah.
And I think given time, this will be one of those series that will be very fondly remembered and very fondly brought up in general movie conversation. We just go, those were good movies, and you could have entire discussions about the tiniest little things, like Star Wars nerds do, where they pick apart every little drop of a scene.
Mm-hmm.
And this could be the same way, and probably will be. Yeah. So, yeah, see this movie. This was
definitely.
This was a treat. After coming off of Transformers 3, I think being the last movie I saw before this one, this was a real treat. And I enjoyed every frame of this movie.
I'm trying to remember what the last movie I saw before this was. Was it Super 8?
Yeah, I think it was Super 8. I liked Super 8, too.
Super 8 was alright.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't perfect, but it was, you know, a solid movie, I think. Mm-hmm. Anyway, yeah.
Did you want to talk about the concession stand?
Oh, I'm getting to the concession stand. But as far as the movie goes, by all means... Oh, by the way, this was a sold-out midnight showing. I want to point that out. They had people in every seat. It was something.
Oh, yeah. I've never seen a theater get as full as I did for this movie. And I went to see The Dark Knight at a midnight showing.
Yeah, that was something. Okay, now on to something that's just been biting away at the back of my mind all night. So, my friend LZF calls me up yesterday. And he says, hey, you want to go see Harry Potter? And I was like, hell yeah, I want to go see Harry Potter at midnight. And so he says, all right, well, I'm going to order the tickets, and I'll call you back and let you know what you owe me. All right. So he calls me back. He's like, they are sold out. There's essentially two theaters around my house. There is Celebration, and there is Star. Now, Star Theater I used to go to a lot as a kid, and I have very fond memories of that theater. But the problem is that over time, Celebration is just a better theater.
Yeah.
It's got better facilities, better projectors, better speaker systems, better everything pretty much. Star is kind of fell by the wayside. So I don't go there if I can help it. But here's the thing: every Celebration within driving distance of my house was sold out at this showing. And because I was that desperate to see it, I jumped online and I got tickets to go to Star Theater. I think the last movie I saw at Star Theater was The Princess and the Frog when I went with my nieces and nephew to see that movie.
I can't even remember what the last movie I went and saw there was because I have just been avoiding that place like...
Yeah.
It might have been... Oh, God. What's that one movie with Nathan Fillion and it's like these little red tentacle things just squirming around like in the South.
I have no idea.
I can't remember.
Anyway, not the point.
Yeah.
And I think Celebration uses like the new digital camera projectors that have the movies on like a hard disk or like an SSD, whereas Star uses film. And I know some film purists will sit back and go, well, the pop marks and burn marks and stretch marks on the film that appear on the screen, that's just part of the charm of all of it. And I can understand that to a point. I can. So, obviously...
That point being when everything in the background is blurry as hell.
Yes. So, again, I haven't been to this movie theater in a long time, but usually at Celebration, I pay $6 to $8 for a ticket, and then I pay about... And then... whoever I'm going with, we usually get a 2-drink popcorn combo that's about $10 to $11.
Yeah.
So by the time I'm all done, I'm under $20 to see a movie. If I pay for all of that myself, I'm under $20 to see a movie.
Yeah.
That's acceptable. That's fine. Because you're paying for the experience as much as you're paying for the food and the ticket. You're really paying to go with your friends, to see a movie, to have a good time, to have something to talk about on the drive home. Okay, so I go on Star's website, which is Fandango? I don't know. I had to order it off Fandango. So I ordered these tickets. They're $9 a piece. A little bit higher than I'd like to pay, but this is Harry Potter. So, of course, I pick them up. I pay the fee, and it comes out to $20.50, which is split between me and my friend LZF. I think you grabbed your tickets later.
Yeah.
Or ticket, I should say. Mm-hmm. But, whatever. So, I was like, whatever. This is a special midnight showing. I'm going. It's going to be great. And obviously, every other place was sold out. So I get there, and I get my tickets, and I walk up to the concession stand with my friend LZF, and I said, all right, I'll take 2 popcorn. They don't have prices on anything. I want to point this out. Nothing on the pricing thing or on the selection had a price next to it. At least not the combos. The individual items did, but the combos didn't. Now, like I said, I usually pay $11, give or take, for 2 popcorn, or 2 pops and a popcorn. I order the same thing, 2 sodas and a popcorn. I was not asked to upgrade for $1, because at Celebration you get the bucket for $1, which I don't usually do unless I'm going with more than one person. If I'm going with, if it's you and LZF and me, or you, LZF, and I, then I would get the bucket, because then you can all reach in and get your popcorn, whatever.
Yeah.
But I was not asked that, and they gave me a bag. That's fine. And then she fills up the 2 sodas, and I reach into my pocket for my cash, which I had probably like $12, enough to cover it, or so I thought, until she said, okay, that will be $14.50. And I went, oh, huh, well, that's not too bad, all things considered, I guess. And she goes, oh, wait a minute, you got a second soda, didn't you? And I said, yeah, I had a mellow yellow coming. And she goes, all right, that'll be $18.25. At which point I had to pick my jaw off the counter and switch to my debit card. I cannot tell you how upset that makes me, that I'm paying $18 for pop and popcorn. That is bullshit. Bullshit. Now, I understand that a movie theater makes a majority of its money off of its concessions. And I also understand that this theater, obviously, is kind of not doing well, because obviously they have not upgraded their equipment, nor have they upgraded their facilities. I think, actually, it looks the same as when it did when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah, it's exactly the same.
It's pretty, I mean, not that you have to upgrade. I'm certain they put new carpet down at some point. But,
here's hoping.
Right, yeah, here's hoping. But, you know, fine. But here's the thing. That's too much.
Yeah,
that's just too much. $4, like if you go to a restaurant, which we did before going to the movie, a soda would cost you around $2-3.
I paid $2, and that was a tip.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, general. At the movie theater, at Celebration, it costs you about
$6.
No, it's about $4.75.
Oh yeah, and then tax.
Yeah, and then they tax it. But $4.75. Okay, all right, fine, because you can refill it all you want, all night long. $18.25. That means that every single item in the order, the 2 sodas and the popcorn, were $6 a piece. Now here's the thing. I was buying the pop for Sandalphan, and I told him, I said, go in and get seats, and just save me a seat, and I'll be in there with your soda later. And I was just gonna buy your soda, because I thought, well, it's $4, whatever. When I saw that bill,
yeah,
I was like, no, he's paying me back for this, which I didn't want to do, but for God's sake.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Do you blame me?
No.
Right. So,
at the time I was grabbing seats, and I had to pick 3 seats so close to the screen you could stare at Voldemort's dress. It was exactly as rewarding as it sounds.
So, alright, so we get in the theater, and I am just livid at this pricing, right? And I turn to, he's sitting next to me, and LZF is sitting on his other side, And I lean over to Sandalphan and I said, "Do you know how much the soda cost me?" And he shook his head. $6. At which point he promptly turned to me and said it was highway robbery. Mm-hmm. Which it was. So, alright, we're going to enjoy this movie, damn it. Mm-hmm. I plan on enjoying this movie, and I did. But the camera kept going out of focus. I don't know what the problem was. But, like, I couldn't see. We were dead front row on, like, the far left side. So, I don't know if, like, people that were sitting farther back didn't have this issue like I was. And it wasn't that I was having to crane my neck, because I really wasn't. It was quite a comfortable place to sit. But I don't know what was up with the camera. Something was screwing it with it and forcing it out of focus. And I'm sitting there going, I almost felt like walking out and getting my money back. I'm like, if I'm paying $9 for a ticket, well, 10 with the freaking fee on top of it, I'm paying $10 a ticket plus $20 for the popcorn and sodas, I'm out $30. Well, at Celebration, I could have done this for well under $20.
Yeah.
It's a little upsetting. And I don't mean to, like, yell at the theater, because I'm certain they do what they can do. And again, they make the majority of their money off of the concessions. But for God's sake! I mean, I wasn't expecting the exact same pricing as at Celebration Theater, but Celebration's soda and popcorn combo is $12.50, $13.50 if you want to upgrade to the bucket. $18.25 with no upgrade options? Are you kidding me? And on top of that, the combos aren't even priced on the sign. They're just labeled as, this is combo 2, this is combo 3 with a pitcher. And it's just like, oh, I want that. Yeah, sure.
I did warn you. I heard we had to go to Star to see this midnight release. That was almost a deal breaker for me because I just hate Star so much. I just like to go to a movie theater and not feel like I'm going to get stabbed in the bathroom. That's just me.
It's not in a bad part of town. It's just kind of run down.
No, it's just kind of...
You get that feeling.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have that kind of inviting feeling. No. You walk in and it's just like...
this is an old theater.
It feels like they want you to leave. I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
It just feels really antiquated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the celebration... there's 2 celebrations near me. There's one in the mall and there's one out on the Beltline.
Yeah.
The one on the Beltline has an IMAX. The one in the mall does not. But I don't mind if I had my choice, because they're both very good quality theaters. Especially the one in the mall. I actually quite prefer that one, because afterwards I can go shopping. So, because I'll have $10 left to go pick up a cheap PS2 game at the GameStop or something, but here I'm broke. So, now my paycheck has pretty much been whittled away. My week's paycheck has been whittled away far more than I was expecting. On top of that, we went to dinner afterwards, or beforehand, and that was a little bit more expensive than I was hoping it would be as well. Granted, that's more my fault because I just really was in the mood for a steak.
Yeah.
Which is always expensive, but still.
I think we're kind of rambling at this point.
I know, but the concession stands prices, I swear to God, are just way, way too high. I will never frequent that theater again, even if it's a movie I care about. If Captain America next week sells out at every theater but that one, I will wait. I will wait. And he will wait with me. And we will go to the next showing. And we will enjoy ourselves at a celebration where we're not going to get gouged in our wallets as badly as I was there. Anyway.
Or I'll see it before him, and then I can be like, and this is the part where the Red Skull is secretly evil.
And that's how that would go. Yeah, you can't go to this movie. You went to Super 8 without me. And well, that was kind of a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah, that was a spur of the moment thing.
All right, no, I'll forgive you for that one.
All right.
Because I saw it later anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, end of my little rant.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys have it worse, let me know. leave a comment or something. I hear that out in California and such, it's even worse than here in Michigan.
I figure Texas has probably got to be pretty bad.
Yeah, Texas, maybe Florida, possibly. But yeah, I mean, it was $18.25 for the popcorn and the sodas, and $9 for the ticket, $10 for the reservation charge.
But the movie was good.
Oh, the movie was fantastic. Highly recommended.
Oh, yes. 5
stars out of 5, 10 out of 10.
Definitely.
It's satisfying ending. And if you're going to nitpick this thing like some critics and give it a 9.5 or a 9.75 just because it has this little bitty glitch, you're obviously not in the spirit of the movie. Anyway, with that being said, rant over.
Yeah.
If you guys have a more expensive pricing, let me know in the comments. But, alright, anyway. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
This has been Marauder and Sandalphan, and we'll catch you guys later.